So, you're a fan of your Dart Zone Solo, but you want a little bit more out of it. Well, let me just say I have more than a couple options for you. Let's get into it. So, meows everyone, welcome back. We're going to cover some disclaimers before we get into this lovely little compact package here. Now, I got those barrels, and the barrels you will see coming up into the video, from Detroit Dartworks. He is an acquaintance of mine from a fellow group that I'm with, the Unicorn Division as it's called. So, even though I did get these for a little bit of a discount, my opinions are still my own. And wait till the end to see my final opinion on this. And go down into the description if you want to cut to a certain part. I hope you all will enjoy the video. Let's get into the overview of these many options for your Dart Zone Solo. Now let's just say you have a good couple of options when it comes to what you want. All of these barrels, of course, will be linked down in the description. But first, we are going to cover the inline clips. But let's take a look at the more basic one real quick. But it don't do as much in this configuration, so let me get installed on the blaster. Now, if you aren't too familiar with the Dart Zone Solo, it is a single shot, usually, a single shot jolt, pretty much, but a pro version. Now, this will usually be the barrel that is on it, and it'll get you roughly, like I said, around 120 to 130 FPS. To keep the barrel in place like this, there's this little latch. But when you release that latch, it brings it back down into a very compact form factor that can fit into a jacket pocket or into a cargo pocket. Now, when you want to bring that back up, usually you would hit this side button and fling up. But I also found that with a nice bit of force that you can just fling it up without having to press the button. Right here we have the safety for the blaster. You have down is safe and up is fire. When you flip it down this little T-pull, you pull down and fire. Now, the strength needed is roughly around a knockout or any other rival single-shot pistol. It feels very smooth. Now, when it comes to this barrel, this is the inline clip barrel. How very dare you. And it can feed 4 short darts. Now, how I usually load it is a little bit different than what other people would do. I put 1 dart up at the front, push it down roughly until my nail ends, and then I load the 3 darts in the back right here, loaded in the rear, and it'll leave a little bit of the dart left, but that makes a very perfect seal. Then all you do is prime down, fire, fling down, fire, fling down, fire, fling down, fire. And now you have fired 4 darts. But you can also fire 2 elite style darts, or full length darts. I have the Ember darts because they're better. Now, all you gotta do is load 2 of those in the rear. Fling down, fire, fling down, fire. And that's pretty much as simple as use as you get. Now, you get roughly about, with the short darts, between low 80s to high 80s. Pretty consistent. But it was hard to chronograph through my chronograph, so that was fun. But this isn't where it ends. You may be like, it's nice, but it's a little bit plain for me. Well, this next barrel may be for you. Here we are, the tactical inline clip, as I have referred to it. It is pretty much the same as the other one, but you have two sights up at the top, rear sight and front sight, and a nice piece of Picatinny rail. Personally, I don't see why you would buy the other one, because that one doesn't have any sights. This one does, and it's got Picatinny. As you can tell, I'm a little bit biased towards this one. Now, obviously you can fit the same amount of darts, 4 short darts or 2 elite style darts, but don't use elite darts because they suck. So I use Ember darts, and it loads and fires just about the same, so no need to really get into that. But this is pretty much the same barrel with sights and a piece of Picatinny. If you don't like the Picatinny, honestly I can understand that. A lot of people aren't very tactical, but I'd still recommend this barrel for these sights, because that sight picture is just amazing. So there's not really much to cover here, but I have a feeling you may like this next barrel if you're not exactly into 1 dart at a time. Is the 3-dart shotgun. Now, it's pretty nice in my opinion, but you may be thinking, does this hold any more? No, it does not. It holds 3 darts of any 50 cal type at all. You could probably shotgun like 3 50 cal foam balls per one, but I currently don't own any, so I can't try that. But what it does fire is 3 full-length darts. Now it's a bit cringe-inducing because you gotta squish the dart a good bit. And heck, there's not really much barrel that it goes off of, so you gotta be very careful you don't shove that down too much. Otherwise, you might get a jam, per se. And dealing with a jam with a single shot, technical single shot, is not fun. But when you get those 3 darts in there, it's one hell of a shotgun. But it doesn't just feed full lengths, it also feeds short darts. Now, I personally like the short darts more, because it's literally just push short dart until it is in the barrel like that. Then you just repeat that 2 more times. And this one also will fit in your pocket better, and it won't scramble your darts. So, like the other one, you pull down on that priming handle and fire. The short darts, in my opinion, do a lot better. Obviously, the group is tighter, so if you want a more spread out group, try cutting down some elite darts. The only real use for elite darts. But if you're not too big of a fan of just the pocket version, well, you can also buy the Picatinny rail-mounted version. That is right. Not only do you have the pocket edition, you have one that you can put on Picatinny rail. And yes, I did put a shotgun attachment on a shotgun. Shotgunception. But you can fit this on pretty much any Picatinny style rail. But you cannot put it on a Nexus of any kind, a Striker, or even the 1.2 or a Tryon, or pretty much any pump action with Picatinny. Because this goes so far back that it ends up dealing with the prime. So I personally put him on side rails. It fits very well on this one and really does give me a nice 45-degree grip, and can be very nice for a surprise blast. Oh god! In case you weren't expecting something. So, let's just say, if I'm looking at running a shotgun, I'm gonna have it on the side. But, if you want one for your pocket, then I recommend the other. But, talking about HVZ, if only there was a mega attachment. That is right. Not only do you have your favorite 50 caliber flavors, you also have your lovely mega. This is only a singular mega, mostly because I believe this thing couldn't handle anything more than a single mega dart. The barrel is overall very basic, no iron sights, or any Picatinny rail under it. All you do is you prime and... well, I think I might need a dart. You want to push your dart down, give it a little bit of a twist as it goes down to not just smush it all the way, And then you want it to end right about there. Otherwise, you might squish it back into the barrel, which can hinder performance. Prime down, like I've already done, and fire. Now, this only gets a mere 40 to 50 FPS, which is not exactly good. I tried firing at a target that was roughly about, it was this target right here, and I could barely hit it like 2 out of 10 times. But if you're firing at a person-sized target, you'll hit them somewhere. And a shield, like an average shield, you could probably hit, but this thing ain't the most accurate, even with AccuStrike darts. So, it's not the best, but for a nice pocket-sized mega shooter, this works well as your point-blank either super zombie or shield buster. So, that's not exactly, it's not exactly the best, but it works for what it's trying to do. But I think there's a better way to run this. And that is as a Mega Master Key. Now, you might think this is a silly setup, but surprisingly, it runs very well. Now, it's pretty much the same as the previous Picatinny attachment. You can't fit it on a Nexus, or a Striker, or a 1.2, or a Tryon. Or pretty much anything that has a small rail segment, mostly because it'll get in the way of the prime, or it just won't fit in general. On this Gecko, I had to put a 45 mount just to get it on there, but in my opinion, 45-degree grips look sexy as hell, and look tactical as fuck. So, I like it, but I can understand why you wouldn't. But once again, prime down, so that way if you see that super zombie or that pesky shield user, you can just turn around and go out of the way! And now they no longer have their shield or a super zombie, whichever game you play. So there's not really much to cover, but it's a nice compact option if you're looking for a master key for your Mega Darts. So, I believe that covers all of the barrel. Oh, come on, I don't want to. They don't want to look at them. I swear to God. Fine. I guess we have 2 more barrels to look at, so let's get into it. That's right. For some reason, Detroit.works decided that they needed to add an Ultra attachment for the Solo. Because we can't disgrace this blaster enough. I blame you, Jolt King. You hear me? I blame you, and your Ultra Aeon Pro, too. But I guess we have to cover it. So, this feeds Ultra, the ammo type we all know and love. You just load it into the barrel, just like that. It's pretty simple. You prime down, and you fire. It fires a lot faster than you would think. That's actually my very first time firing it, and that was pretty fast. Hang on. Okay, let me cook. As you can see, this blaster surprisingly fires between 100 and 110 FPS. Why it needs to fire that far is beyond me. But this thing zips through the air at ungodly speed. Like, it's not accurate. I can hit a shield from about 25 feet, but still not accurate. So if you really want just a troll blaster to take someone out with in a war, I guess you have your option? But just like all the others, not only do you have your pocket variant, you also got...
Oh, I got 7 Mac 11s, about 8, 38s, 9, 9, 10 Mac 10s, the shits.
But seriously, yes, you have your Master Key variant. No, I'm not throwing this on any practical or even Nerf blaster because fuck you, I'm not degrading a blaster that much. I don't hate a blaster that much that I own. But it works. It works. So if you wanted to run around with a troll blaster, I guess you kinda got your options, because,
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
I like a wham! So, yeah. This is about it, though, so we're gonna head off into the end of the video, where I kinda give a bit of my thoughts on all of these barrel attachments. So, let me stop disgracing your eyes and let's get into it. Alrighty, now we get into the blaster recommendation. If you're a modder, yes, I would recommend this. I'd recommend this for pretty much anyone who wants just a nice and simple, small, compact, little pocket-sized pistol that can fire pretty much most ammo types. But it's not for everyone. If you're not a modder, this is pretty easy, but it's not the easiest. I've probably already thrown in an installation guide somewhere along here in the video. Also, it does kind of have a bit of a similarity with Out of Darts' little rocket attachments. Obviously, this can be put into your pockets and it won't go off, unlike any of Out of Darts', like the Crooked Cousin, the Proud Papa, or the Mighty Mama, because the trigger's exposed. But if you're looking at mounting one of these onto your blaster, I'd just recommend this. Because not only does this have a very solid attachment, this is pretty solid itself, but these have more power. Even the little rocket, like the Proud Papa that goes onto pretty much any rail you want, fires better than this. So this really only does fill that emergency pistol role. Because while this you have to open up to change every attachment, this is as simple as a rock and lock system. So you have a rocket and it's locked. And you can change out barrels in seconds. So this takes upwards of 1 to 2 minutes to change. So it's not the best, but if you're just looking for that nice emergency pistol that to go into your pockets or to have as a backup, to put on your gear or in a pocket or anywhere. If you're looking for a compact pistol, get this. If you're looking for something to put on a rail that can fire multiple ammo types, just get a Proud Papa or Mighty Mama. I hate to do it, but that's honestly what I can recommend. I hope you all like it. If you want to get yourself any of these barrels, I will have a link down in the description below. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because that really helps boost me in the algorithm. And I shall see you all in the next video, where we will be covering a pretty nice little SMG from back in the day. But gotta tune into the next video in 2 weeks to see how beautiful this blaster is. So I shall see you on the battlefield. Bangarang!